resource for them. Well, one woman is hoping to change all that. She's just set up Ireland's first menopause website and she joins Sybil now.
That's right, Elaine. I'm joined by Aisling Grimley, who's just set up a website, My Second Spring, which great idea. I can't believe there wasn't one already about the menopause for Irish women. Yeah,
I was very surprised because the first thing you do is have a look online to see what you can find out. So I went to the parenting websites and there was nothing there. So then I started to bring up the topic a little bit with friends, and you know, coffee, it took a while to get the courage to actually mention the word menopause without blushing. And then it was interesting to realise that a lot of them didn't know much about the menopause either. So I was with some much younger friends one day, and I mentioned, you know, it was the first day because I was, you know, your cycle changes, and I'd had a gap of 3 months with no period, and I was kind of thinking, gosh,
is this the start of it?
Am I pregnant? No.
Oh, are you pregnant? Right, okay.
And I have 4 daughters, and I'm, you know, 49 now. I was 48 then. I was thinking that this isn't a good idea because you get a lot of the same symptoms. You're feeling, you know, irritable and crazy hormone surges, which is part of perimenopause. So anyway, I think I was giddy with the relief of not being pregnant. So I met these friends and I was saying, so do you know anything about the menopause?
Yeah.
And they were looking at me in alarm. And then from then on I started asking loads of people, and they look at you as if it might be a contagious disease, don't mention it. So by
because it's something we don't really want to think about until it's literally on top of us at this stage. But I didn't realise from from reading the website that the symptoms of menopause begin 4 to 8 years before your periods stop.
Yeah, which is a very surprising thing, and I think that a lot of women really know what's happening because the hormones are shifting in our mid to late 40s, and so suddenly you can have lack of confidence, you can feel anxious, you can, you know, your sleep patterns change. So you can end up going to your doctor with these symptoms, and it can often be misdiagnosed as depression or anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I think with everything, if you have an idea of what it might be and a framework for it, just naming it and identifying it can be really, really helpful. So that was one of my big findings, perimenopause. It's all about perimenopause.
Okay.
Because when we actually have menopause, a lot of the symptoms go away at that stage. For some women, they do carry on, but for a lot of women, they actually stop because the hormones are more in balance. And menopause is 1 whole year after your last period, which again was something I didn't know. I didn't really know. I thought it would all happen after periods, whereas in fact a lot of the stuff that's going on, your cycle's kind of changing, it's erratic, but you do still have periods.
So you're going through perimenopause at the moment?
Perimenopause, yes. I mean, it...
Are you having any symptoms right now?
No, I'm quite disappointed. I think it's because I'm embracing this thing so much that I'm not having very many symptoms at all.
But not everybody has symptoms.
No. I mean, I have had a few hot flushes, but no, a lot of people don't have symptoms. But I think 70% of women will have symptoms, but only 10% of women have symptoms that are bad enough to need medication.
Okay.
So a lot of it is about lifestyle adjustments. You know, it's about exercise and diet and looking after ourselves. I mean, and that's the other big thing which I've discovered. The reason I called the website My Second Spring is because I was delighted to discover that in China they call it a second spring, and it's seen as a positive time, and women there only actually start to celebrate their birthdays around 50, and then they're seen as, you know, they can often find a new and more confident voice, and they can kind of come into their own, which I think is a lovely idea, and they're also valued for their wisdom and their life experience. Because the other thing is that at midlife, I think it's an opportunity for us all to, you know, in your 30s and 40s, you've got your head down, kind of, whether it's busy with a career or a career and children, we're just rushing about minding everybody else. So at midlife, I think we can just take a little step back and have a look at our lives, see what we think of the way we are, and maybe make some adjustments. And some people get a bit of a shock, I think, to kind of pop your head up and go, oh, I see, so this is how I'm living. Is this what I chose? Is this...
Well, you're a good example because you've stayed at home for the past 13 years minding the 4 girls.
Yes.
And now you've just set up this website. You'd never even have thought of doing that ever, probably.
No, it came completely out of the blue. I had the idea, actually I started taking a little bit of time to myself, like just literally 10 minutes a day back in January, and by February I'd come up with this idea. So I think I'd really encourage other women just to take, like, it's very, I know how difficult it is. I mean, I'm sure you know as well, it's difficult to actually just hide for 10 minutes. I used to go up and hide in my bedroom and have a think. And the irony is that it's taken, it's been exactly 9 months since I got the idea, you know, from conception to the birth of the website.
It launched yesterday, and of course World Menopause Day is tomorrow, and on it there's all tips and information